So we are here at Allegro Senior Living today, and it's a beautiful community. We'll show you lots more about it. But one of the things I like best, senior living, it's community living. It's shared experience. It's not just an easier, more elegant way of life when you get to a certain age, but you're with people. You want to have breakfast with somebody, great. You want to have lunch with somebody, great. You want to go to a lecture. You want to take a class. It's all here at your fingertips, and it grows a great community together. This community was built during COVID, but one of the neat features are these exterior spaces. So during COVID, a lot of senior communities, you couldn't visit a relative because of the shutdown. Here, you've got access to directly to the outside. A family member could visit, even if it was right through the glass, but a family member could visit at any time. And so that's a really neat feature of this community. So we're here at the atrium at Allegro, and I'm here with Sales Director Evan Sidorsky.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Allegro at Harrington Park, where we have independent living, assisted living, and memory care.
All right, and Evan's going to take us into the dining room now. So Evan, tell us about dining here at Allegro.
So our dining program is probably one of the things that I'm most proud of here at the community. First of all, the food that we have, everything is made to order. There's a huge selection on the menu, so it's not like you get the same things over and over again. Residents have a great breakfast for options. They have a great lunch with 2 specials that change daily. And same thing with dinner. They have 2 specials that change daily that are different than the lunch specials. And everything is very resident selected. So our Director of Dining Services will actually have monthly meetings where residents get to voice their opinion on things that they would like to see on the menu. And then as far as the venues go, we have 3 dining options. Like I was saying, we have our assisted living restaurant, our bistro, and our independent living restaurant. Also, we're on 10 acres here, so you have a lot of outdoor dining options as well.
Yeah, you've got beautiful space right outside here, right?
It's a super unique property. I've never seen another senior living property like this, as far as the acreage and being, I guess, technically waterfront.
Evan, how about you take us to the pool? This is the only senior living complex in Bergen with an indoor pool.
Yeah, I'd be happy to show it to you.
So this is
Independent living dining, yep.
But they could eat anywhere they want.
Yeah, so there is, in the bistro, anyone can eat 3 meals a day there because we're a blended community. So independent and assisted living are like one and the same, which is nice because if you move into independent living, you make a bunch of friends that live in assisted, you can still all dine together. So we got the pool area here, which is awesome. So you got the hot tub, which can be used whenever, really. The pool can also be used whenever, but we also have aquasize classes, which is pretty cool, led by an actual aquasize instructor. So a lot of times our exercise classes and art classes and lectures are led by third-party professionals instead of someone on the activity team. So you get that specialized touch to it, and you really get someone that knows what they're talking about. And it's also safer for the residents too, with an aquasize class that's led by a professional certified instructor. And in this area, we also have a greenhouse, there's a fire pit, we have the bar. The bar, right. So muffins and mimosas every Sunday morning, which is really cool. And then it is an indoor pool. It's great in the winter because if the snow is coming down, you get to sit in the hot tub and just laugh at everyone that's cold outside. And you have the barbecue area here, which can be used by residents, family. Yeah. Our chef will have barbecues out here as well.
Okay, so we're at the pool bar. Show me the bar upstairs with the great views.
We have 3 bars here, so I'll show you my favorite.
Yeah. So Evan was going to take us into the activity room to kind of demonstrate some of the stuff that goes on, but there's something going on in the activity room right now. So he was going to pivot to the card room, but there's something going on in the card room right now too. So we'll talk about activities.
Yeah, it's a good thing when that happens because you have residents all over the community doing different things at the same time, which is kind of how our programming works. Well, we don't want to do breakfast, bingo, arts and crafts, lunch. That's just too standard for us, and then you only have 2 things to do during the day. So we like to do multi-dimensional programming where we have breakfast, and then at 10 o'clock we have an exercise class, bingo, and cards all going on at the same time. And then we have like an art class, another exercise class, and gardening club all going on at the same time. So we have the space to give residents the choice of what they want to do throughout the day, which is why we currently can't find anywhere to go. Probably something going on, I bet.
No.
Yeah, it's like 2:25, and we've just come up to the 4th floor. We went to show off the cinema. There's something going on in there too.
So I keep trying to find places for you guys to see, but they're all occupied, which is really good. So this is our pub area. So in the pub, we have happy hour, usually 5 to 6 times per week, which is great. We have a special cocktail list. You can get wine, beer, mixed drinks, non-alcoholic beverages. There's appetizers. Sometimes we do live music. We got some pool sharks, so be careful. Shuffleboard, and these do get used. They're not just for show, I can promise. And then the best part of the community, again, is probably the property that we're on. So waterfront, Oradell Reservoir, you can see all the leaves changing. In the winter, it's great when the leaves come off the trees, you get the sunset, like right here. We own everything up to the water, corner to corner. We do fall festivals out here, car shows. We use as much of the property as we can. There's a sense of living here. You know, right now, I mean, I get it. If I had the time, if I had the opportunity to be able to take care of my own parents, if they needed me to take care of them, I wish I could, but everyone has their own life nowadays, right? I work full-time, my wife works full-time, kids, the animals. I know it's hard to kind of trust a community to care for your loved one, but it's a good thing. They're here, they're socializing, they're talking to other people that are in the same situation that they are, and it's not even a situation, it's a good thing. They're here enjoying themselves, they're doing activities day to day, and if they need it, the assisted living and memory care portion, they're being really well cared for on a daily basis. It's not that you get a phone call and say, hey, I'm on the ground, I fell, can you get here? Meanwhile, you're at work and you're an hour away and now you gotta rush to mom's house because she's on the floor. Here, there's an emergency pendant, you hit it. Someone falls in the 8 million common spaces that we have, someone sees it and is there to help immediately. You're not on the ground forever. So there is some guilt, but there's a lot more oversight in a community like this. You know, it's not like, okay, one day mom needs help and then the next day she's fine and she doesn't. It doesn't work like that. She's on a schedule. So there's constant care and there's constant supervision and there's constant activities and there's constant life, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So hopefully it takes out some of that guilt factor.
Okay, with that said, let's go check out an apartment. Okay. Evan, tell us about this beautiful apartment.
So this is an independent living 1-bedroom apartment. This one is one of our penthouse style apartments. So it has a fireplace, it has higher ceilings, it has a bigger kitchen, upgraded bathroom from your standard apartment, which is still a beautiful apartment. I mean, the standard apartment here is nicer than my condo at home. It really is. In independent living, they all have full kitchens, but one of the really nice things about this community is when you move from your independent living apartment, and if you ever need an assisted living setting, the apartment is very similar. Other than the penthouses, if you're in a standard 1-bedroom apartment in independent living, and you move to a 1-bedroom apartment in assisted living, it's the exact same apartment, just without an oven and a stove. We don't give you a smaller refrigerator. We don't give you a smaller kitchen space. We don't give you a smaller bedroom space or a smaller closet or anything like that. It's the same apartment, which makes that transition from independent to assisted a lot easier. All of our apartments do have screened-in patios or balconies, which is a super nice feature. Weekly housekeeping services, weekly linen services. In assisted living and memory care, we do weekly laundry. So you really just kind of kick your feet up and you make this however you want. They come unfurnished. So that house that you've been in for 50 years, we want you to bring your furniture, unless you want new stuff, that is. But if there are pieces that you like that are heirlooms or that you've had forever, bring them. We have no problem with that. Make it your own space as long as you're not like tearing down walls and stuff, then we're fine with that.
It's interesting because I have clients who think, well, I want to surround myself with everything that's familiar. And then I have others that want to start everything new. I think a mix of the two works, and very often when they move to Allegro, they want to make sure things are nice enough for their new home, right? So it's things that you put up with in your own home for 40 or 50 years. When you're moving to a swanky new apartment like this one, you want it to look really special. So you're trading up a lot of the stuff that you're bringing to the new place.
Yeah, I mean, even in a lot of our residents, even in the homes that they were in for most of their lifetime, they bring like these beautiful art pieces that fit. I mean, our apartments have a lot of wall space, and sometimes they bring these beautiful pieces of furniture that fit in our apartments. I mean, our apartments are really good sizes. We're not giving you a shoebox. Like, they're really nice size apartments. Where are you going to have to downsize? Depending on the apartment you pick, probably. But you can bring a lot of those pieces of art. You can bring a lot of those pieces of furniture that you really have a connection to, and they'll look beautiful in the apartment.
So we're in Evan's extended office, and we know it's beautiful. We know the setting is gorgeous. We know the food is fantastic. We know all the facilities are terrific. Tell us what we can't see.
I don't care how nice your building is. It's what's inside the building. And I don't mean the amenities, and I don't mean anything like that. It's the team that drives the good-looking building. Because you could have a good-looking building, you could have a terrible team, and it just doesn't work. But here, in the almost 10 years I've been doing this is the best team that I've ever worked with. From the executive director to all the management team here. We have 12 managers here, which is important. And we have 12 managers. There's managers here 7 days a week. So if you need somebody, there's someone here to help. But from the housekeeping director to our dining director to our maintenance director to our memory care director to our activities director, we have a resident relations director, and they're all like fantastic at what they do. And that's so important because that's what makes everything move the way we want it to move and provide the level of service that we provide to our residents here and to our families here. We have open lines of communication, which is so important. You can call me for anything if you need me. But if you ever can't reach me, you have our resident relations director that you can get a hold of that basically covers almost everything for independent living. You have our nursing director, who's fantastic, that you can get a hold of. Like, very open lines of communication if you need it.
As I walk through the building with you, you connect with the residents. So it's not like they were a transaction with you. Sign on the dotted line, you move in, and that's the end of the story. You're on to the next one. You walk through the building with you, and you're saying hello to Mr. X and Mrs. Y and asking after Mrs. Z's health or whatever it is. Like, you really connect with the residents. You know who they are. They know who you are. It's, one big happy family here, but that's the way all your staff connect with the residents here, and that really says something.
We work where they live, right? This is their home. We want it to feel like home. We want to be respectful of their home. So we keep it clean, just like they would their home. We keep it neat, and we want to know about the person moving in. We don't just want to say, hey, here's a head and a bed, here's your apartment. We want to know about this person. So I think that also helps with that process. And then, our dining director goes back to his team and says, hey, Mr. Smith is moving in. Here's something about him, dining wise. If it's something for assisted living or memory care, our nurse does a really, really great job of learning even more about the person and saying, hey, here's something about Mr. Smith. And she reports that to her team. And so on and so on. And it doesn't get lost in the mix.
One of the things that I think is so important about senior living, and I know you and Allegro do too, is what's happening all day, right? What do you have? How are you engaging the residents? What are their options, right? Maybe they can't get out or they don't get out. What are they doing all day?
So part of that is the multi-dimensional programming. So there's a lot of variety. Like looking at our activity calendar here, let's take Monday, October 21st. There's something at 10, something at 10:30, two things at 11:30, something at 1, something at 1:15, something at 1:30. And like this doesn't even include meals. These are just activities. But a lot of communities, what you see after dinner, it's crickets. There's nothing going on. And residents' lives typically revolve around meals because there's nothing that they really want to do during the day. They don't want to play bingo every single day. Some people do. A lot of people don't. So they have a lot of variety here. And then after dinner, there's stuff going on. There's movies. I have the movie schedule they are every single night. And then twice a week we have a matinee. And then sometimes we'll do some light entertainment at night. And sometimes there's a card game after dinner. We'll have residents that hang out in the hot tub after dinner. Like there's stuff going on if you want to do the stuff after dinner. We take trips, at least weekly. We go to the bank, we go to grocery stores, we'll go to restaurants, but we'll do things like see a show at the Bergen Pack, take a Hudson River cruise, go to the casino, which is popular. And we transport residents to these. I mean, if there's like a restaurant trip, we usually come up with a group price, like it's going to be this much per person. So we transport them on the bus. Or let's just say we have a resident that has a doctor's appointment next week and needs to go to Englewood for it. We'll take them. Or if there's a driver available and it's kind of not great weather outside, and we have a resident that really wants to go to Starbucks. We have good coffee, by the way, but we have a resident that wants to go to Starbucks. If there's a driver available and there's nothing going on, we'll take them. Anywhere within 10 miles is included in your rent. So if it's raining outside or you just aren't driving anymore, it's not your independence being taken away, because if you need to go somewhere, we can take you.
Evan, I just want to thank you for having us here today. Your passion for Allegro and the people who live here and making it a home for them really shines through, and we've loved being a part of it today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming by, and I love being able to showcase this beautiful community and where I work, because I love what I do, and I'm very, very proud of this community, and I'm very proud of the team, and yeah, my pleasure.